Yeah, you see all these ramen noodles joints popping up where you can go get fancy ramen noodles. All the hype behind it, it's everywhere. I'm just noticing it because there's all kinds of places that I would like to go eat, and I can't go there because there's like, ramen noodles places, and then it seems like it's just fried chicken and ramen noodles. All the barbecue joints are gone. Burger joints are withering away because apparently nobody believes that we're actually eating cattle. So it's like if you want to eat chicken and you want to know it's chicken, you got to go to get chicken off the bone. This is where everything is, okay? Open your eyes and tell me what you see when you try to go get food. Chicken next to chicken, next to chicken, next to a place that serves chicken, also serving chicken, and then take a look at the burger joints. You got McDonald's, a clown house, right? And then anywhere else to get a burger is kind of a joke, right? And then hot dogs are everywhere, which is not a step up. That would be stepping down into the ramen noodles. I put ramen and hot dogs are kind of in the same realm. You're hurting if that's what you're doing, okay? Just like the only time I eat hot dogs, or the best time, if you're gonna just settle, is if you can cook them yourself. That way it's done at least to your standards. Like if I do it, I know it's done right. If I do it for myself, if somebody else does it, it's almost a guarantee. I'm not gonna enjoy it, or something's gonna be wrong with it. It's almost a waste of money. I can just throw it away. I don't need to actually go through the experience to realize that it was unhealthy and nothing I actually wanted. So if you can realize that sometimes not eating a piece of food is more beneficial to you than actually eating it, that'll help you kind of decipher where to land when you're driving around and all you're seeing is chicken and ramen. That's all we got left. I'm diving on this because I just found a random ramen pack, and I get it. There was this whole thing where it was like nobody actually reads the label. No one's looking for red dye 40. No one's looking for these weird key ingredients that you should really keep out of your diet 100% of the time. So not only are we not looking for key ingredients, but we're not reading the suggestive label thing. So the whole, you're supposed to cook a protein and then serve ramen as like a side. So these places, it's like advertising your store by the garnishment that you sprinkle on the plate, like plate garnishers. That would be if you spend any time in jail, or any time in a holding cell, or if you've ever had to worry about, eating in a place where people have to order commissary items. I've never ordered commissary. I've never been held that long, but I've sat next to people who had to order commissary. And when you see all their options, you're like, this is weird. Like, no wonder bums, try to commit crimes to get locked up so that they can go and get commissary. Okay? Even though you have to, it's easier to get a job in jail because they can't wait to have you go and just clean up messes from nonsense in jail. And then once you figure out how to be the guy that cleans up the messes, they put a little bit of money in your pocket, and now you're just buying from the commissary. So, what's the difference between your life in real life as a quote-unquote free walking living man outside of prison? You get to shop at Walmart, right? So your life is way better than somebody who lives in prison, right? Well, no, not much. They constantly are closing the gap. Why are we worried about prison life so much? And how good it is in there for them. Well, why do we need to lock people up for so long? And then every time you try to bridge the gap and make it enjoyable to be in prison, it's like you're just making it harder to enjoy life outside of prison, because now it's all the same thing. So I don't know I don't know how people are, going to these ramen joints and you don't notice there's no place to eat other than chicken and ramen, and things are getting real weird as far as selecting your meal. So there was another idea that was passed down to me saying, oh, I've seen chefs, crack out ramen, and it's a chef thing if you eat, al dente or uncooked ramen noodles. You just season them like potato chips and eat them all crunchy, right? So it was this weird thing. It's like, oh, so ramen noodles might be fancy. It's a chef thing. No, it's not. It's just jail food. And then they don't cook the noodles, because if you're in jail and you're eating ramen, how do you cook ramen in jail? You don't, because they don't let you have anything to cook with. Okay? So the reason you're seeing people, chefs eat uncooked ramen noodles is because they're from jail. Okay? The way you cook noodles in jail is you go over to the shower and you crank the heat up on the shower and you just dump hot shower water into your bag of noodles and you eat your ramen noodles out of the bag. Okay? I know this sounds ridiculous, but you really do want to hear the stuff that I have to say, because there's all of this, it sucks, because even one of my friends serves this, where they just cut open a chip bag and they serve like chili and a hot dog or something over chips, and it's like, dude, this is the most disgusting thing I could possibly imagine. I mean, it's already gross enough to just eat potato chips straight out of the bag. You're not doing technically, if you want to be proper, you get chips and you get salsa, right? Chips in a bag, salsa in a bowl. You dish out so much chips into a big dry bowl, and then there's a smaller dipping bowl, right? That's how you eat chips and salsa, if that's all you're doing. Or it's chips on a plate with something else. Again, you're never eating just ramen, but that's what's done in jail, okay? So trying to make a difference here. How do you separate yourself from people in jail? How do you actually make your life better than what's in jail? Like, how do you make it to where there's a choice? Like, do you want to end up in jail and eat ramen? Or do you want to be a free person and actually be able to eat real food? But then you just smear that line. You're like, oh, well, it's the same thing. We're just going to go eat ramen. Ooh, I'm in jail. I can just eat ramen. You see that? Oh, well, maybe they're trying to get you to walk into jail. They want you to be like, oh, well, it's not that bad. If they just want to jail everybody, I'll just walk in. They got all the ramen there. Stop eating at the ramen places. It's not fancy. It's not a chef thing. The chefs that eat that are chefs because that's the only job they can get, because they want whoever cooks your meal when you go out to be some scumbag who doesn't actually know good cooking practices and is gonna food poison you by cooking you uncooked, wrong cooked items that aren't stored well or aren't cooked well and then aren't served well, and then everything's just, you're eating food from a chef who eats uncooked noodles because they're used to being in jail where the only way to cook it is to use a shower head. I'm telling you.